7 new BPO projects on the way, 1,200 land titles in 7 months, and October delivery date for Anti-Crime Action Plan. You're watching Jamaica House Weekly. I'm Lorraine Mendez. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says 7 new BPO projects are in the works for later this year into early 2017, bringing new jobs for Jamaicans. The Prime Minister says government will also be implementing a reform of the labour market, which will start in the public sector. He says it will include reallocating human resource from the public sector to the private sector, where they'll be able to contribute more to national development.
We as government in the public sector must look at our own business processes and re-engineer them so that they are more efficient, so that they can release the labor that is in the public sector to the private sector where their contributions can be greater for the country.
Mr. Holness was speaking Thursday as he broke ground for a 65-square-foot BPO space at the Montego Bay Free Zone. The Prime Minister used his time in the second city to tour BPO spaces at the Barnett Tech Park and the Kazumar Free Zone. Word came last week that the National Security Council NSC was formulating a strategic anti-crime action plan to be delivered by October 2016. The plan will focus on a wide range of interrelated areas to tackle violent crime, crimes involving the use of firearms, and lottery scamming. Actions should include increasing security personnel, enhancing the police's mobility and bases of operation, and boosting the investigative, prosecutorial, and legislative systems to deal with crime. In addition to monthly meetings to fast-track strategies, consultations and deliberations are being undertaken to complete the plan for its submission to Cabinet. The National Security Council is made up of Cabinet members, the Attorney General, the JDF Chief of Defence Staff, and the Commissioner of Police. On Tuesday, Prime Minister Andrew Holness issued 220 land titles to Jamaicans from across the island. They are among 1,200 persons who will be receiving their land titles in the next 7 months under a $90 million LAMP DBJ Memorandum of Understanding.
We are seeking to empower all Jamaicans with a renewed sense of ownership and pride in Jamaica by ensuring that each person has a title for their land. We want every Jamaica to have a vested interest in building Jamaica, land we love.
And to ensure increased access to lands, Prime Minister Holness says a draft bill is being finalized to amend the Registration of Titles, Cadastral Mapping and Tenure Clarification Special Provisions Act. This should strengthen the work of LAMP's adjudication committees to take into account how Jamaicans give, buy and sell land culturally.
LAMP will continue its mandate to conduct cadastral mapping, tenure clarification and regularization in project areas, and subsequently reduce the number of unregistered parcels of land, thereby bringing them into the formal sector. We understand the cost of education, but we also understand the cost of ignorance. The education system has to be flexible. It has to fit the needs of the students and not the students to fit the education system.
And Prime Minister Andrew Holness has recommitted his government to ensuring that all Jamaican children have quality tuition-free access to secondary education. He was speaking last Wednesday at a GSET Awards ceremony for children of staff from the offices of the Prime Minister and Cabinet. Mr. Holness said emphasis would be placed on instilling Jamaican-centered values and attitudes in schools to combat outside influence.
We have to strengthen our value system so that our students can place the bombardment of information that they will receive in context, so that they can become better individuals with strong characters to withstand the turbulence of the world in which we live.
And right in time for back to school, the Prime Minister held a treat for children at the Olympic Garden Civic Centre in St. Andrew. Over 100 children turned up with their parents and guardians to go on rides and get free health checkups. The Prime Minister also showed his support for other back-to-school initiatives. On Sunday, he was in Portmore for Flow School Aid, where 30,000 school supplies were issued to children. They were also treated to free dental and medical checkups as well as free haircuts. And the Italian people were also on Prime Minister Holness's mind last week. He expressed Jamaica's deepest sympathies in the wake of a devastating 5.5 magnitude earthquake, which struck central Italy, killing at least 290 persons. Mr. Holness also wished for a speedy recovery. And that's it for Jamaica House Weekly. Be sure to join us next time for more news coming out of the office of the Prime Minister.